You tuned in to Hype Talk Radio,
the voice of the Midwest.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Talk with Todd show, right here on Hype Talk Radio. For all the latest updates on the Talk with Todd show, you can follow me on Twitter, all right, at twitter.com/Talk with Todd. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Todd Longino. That's Longino for all your updates on my show and everything else that's going on with Hype Talk Radio. My guest today has spent years creating art with airbrush painting for people like Jennifer Lopez, Tupac, of course, B.I.G., and many others. Okay, he just created something that was auctioned off on eBay recently, and we're going to talk to him about it today with Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Jackson. Welcome everybody to the show. Leon Jones, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, I appreciate you taking it. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time out, to come on the show.
Oh, without a doubt, brother, without a doubt. I mean, hey, I love to talk. I appreciate you talking to me. It's that old saying, talk to me, I talk back.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that phrase a lot. Talk to me, I talk back. Yeah. I just got done visiting your website, and for everybody who wants to visit the website to get an idea of what I'm talking about here, visit www.theartman.com. Okay, and you will find everybody from rap artists to actors to sports figures on his site. Now, real quick about your site, is this a location where they can purchase items if they want to?
Well, no, they'd have to go to the email, actually, to either purchase something, because sometimes there are copyright infringements and stuff like that on different things, so I don't like to just go ahead and just sell, something unless I have the rights to it. So certain ones I have the rights to and certain ones I don't, so I would have to do that. They'd have to contact me through email like that.
Okay.
And my email.
Now, what is the email address?
It's
where they can,
info@theartman.com.
Okay. And for anybody who wants to, like I said, he just said info@theartman.com. For anybody who wants to go to the website and find something that they like, that they want to have for themselves, email him, and we will get, however the transaction works, but definitely you can go in there and purchase it through the email address. Not
right, I do commissions too, brother.
Website. Yes, sir. You do commissions. I appreciate it.
I love it. See it.
Tell us, for the listeners and even myself, how you got started doing airbrushing.
Well, I'm an oil painter, really. I like to paint in oils and stuff like that, but airbrushing was just so fascinating because, it makes the skin, the tones and the softness and stuff like that. So it really drew me to that kind of stuff because when I first started, it was like 9 years old. And what I would do is I would do like the horses, and stuff like that. And then I would go to the dog tracks. My mom would take me over there and I'd do little dogs and stuff. And then I started going to the barbershops and doing like before and after on people trying to make them look, how they would look after, little characters and stuff like that when I first started at 9 years old. And it just went on from there. And then I just kind of graduated from the oils because, oils are really hard to work with. The medium is just, you got to let it sit a while so you can't. Because if you try to just go over and over, it just gets mucky, and it just really turns into mush. But the airbrush, you can just paint over and over, and if you don't like it, you make a mistake, just white it out and just paint some more. So it's really great. I'm fascinated by the airbrush, and I just really like working with that airbrush. It's just different. But as far as, any other medium, I paint in watercolor. I paint in all mediums, but like I said, airbrush is the one that just really fascinates me.
Yeah, because when I went to your site, I was blown away by the artwork. Literally, once again, that website is www.theartman.com. Okay, and I was just scrolling through some of these, especially like I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the Tupac paintings that you did, and I'm like, that looks like very strenuous, hard work.
But brother, if you see it in person, it's totally different because it just jumps at you. When you're looking at a picture, if you take a picture and you look at a picture, the resolution just really gets shot. It's just real high resolution. But you have to see it in person in order to really get the effect of it. Because a lot of times I'm amazed at some of the things that I see other artists do as well, with different airbrush and stuff like that on different art. It's just, you just have to see it, It's just like, I don't know, you You just got to see it.
Well, I'm going to have to figure out, one day I'm going to figure out and watch you do this in person, because I would love to see exactly how, how it all comes together, because those paintings, brother, are, especially the one we're going to talk about now with the Michael Jackson and Elizabeth Taylor one, I was blown away by that one as well. And you just recently had the auction on eBay. How did that go?
Oh, it's still going. We launched it the 17th, and we're getting good response from it. I mean, it's really, really great, and I mean, that piece right there, like I said, I mean, it just touched me because I know Mr. Jackson. I can actually say that I knew Mr. Jackson. I still know him. I'm not going to really say that he's gone because, like I said, as long as the casket was closed, I can still deal with the fact that Michael's still around, because me knowing Mr. Jackson working out to his ranch, the 5 months that I was out there, it's like he plays a lot of games and he likes to, play, tricks and stuff. So it's kind of like, I know that it sounds kind of, whatever that I'm saying that, but knowing him, I'm just looking for him to just pop up. I just want that. And I'm just so glad they kept the casket closed because that gives me hope that, he will. I mean, although we know, the brothers rest in peace, we know we have to face reality too, but still that hope, brother. I mean, when you know somebody, you don't want it to go, to go away like that. That's what I feel, So
losing Mike was a great loss. Mike did so much for people through his music, and through the lives that he touched on, the work that he did for the community, and what I mean by that, the giving that he did. I mean, that was a huge loss for a whole lot of people.
Yes, indeed. It really hurt.
But one of my, like I tell my friends all the time, my favorite song is "Dirty Diana." I love that song. Yeah, "Dirty Diana" was a classic, man. I mean, that was just a totally different Mike altogether, That was my favorite story.
But mine is that Billie Jean. I mean, you just sit there. I mean, that beat just kicks. When you got that bass bumping. I mean, I just gotta, moonwalk myself. I mean, and I can't do no moonwalk, but you know what I mean. It just gives you that boom, that Billie Jean.
Yeah, right. That dirty. The one thing about the Dirty Diana video was just the rock and roll setting. That was just a whole different Mike. You see Mike get something, but that was just a different Mike, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It sure was.
Explain to us, if you could, describe to us what brought you to create the Michael and Elizabeth Taylor portrait, and what was the greatest challenge for you in creating that?
Well, the greatest challenge was either putting both of them together because I've painted pictures of Mr. Jackson all the time, and a lot of times, and I have personal ones, in my garage that I keep, that I just look at all the time. But anyway, a friend of mine called me and told me that Michael Jackson and Liz Taylor was going to be down at the Arts Festival down in Laguna. And, so he said, man, you should paint a picture of Michael Jackson and Liz Taylor. And I said, you know what, great idea. So I did. It took me a couple of weeks. I put it together. And that night that they were to Fear down there, I shot down there. And when I got down there, they were, coming out the limo. And Mr. Jackson, he was helping Liz out of the limo. And as he was helping her out the limo, he was bending over, and he pointed up at the painting because I had it, held up there. And all the crowd, they had pushed me up front because they figured that if I were in the front of the crowd with this big old painting, because it's only like a 36 by 48, it's pretty big. And they thought that, well, if Mr. Jackson, would come over and sign that painting, because it's so big, because they only had them little 8 by 10, photos and stuff like that, they said they could get theirs signed as well. Well, but anyway, so Mr. Jackson, he looked over and he pointed and he smiled, and Liz looked over, and I held the painting up and I said, would you please sign my painting? And the officer that was right in front of me, he was faced me and his back was to Mr. Jackson and Liz Taylor, so he couldn't see him motioning. And so as he was doing the motion, the crowd started going crazy. Hey, he's telling him, come over. So I started over and he put his hand on my chest. And so I said, you got to look. So he turned around, the officer did, and he seen Mr. Jackson motion him. And what he did is he told him, say, okay, we'll hand it down. So they handed down like firemen do, and just hand the painting down to him. And I said, here's the pen. And so I asked Miss Taylor out loud again. I said, Miss Taylor, Mr. Jackson, would you please autograph my painting? And Miss Taylor, she goes, I'd be honored to autograph your painting. And from what I heard is that was the only thing that they autographed that night. They were supposed to be coming to the museum. It was a contributor something to Rock Hudson. and they were supposed to go inside and sign a lot of, memorabilia and stuff like that. But from what I heard, that's the only thing they signed was that big.